Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Wednesday, March 5th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Here at the Best Muskoka Chair Company in Kemptville, Ontario, Canadian pride isn't just a sentiment. For 70 years, it's been built into every piece.
Being able to manufacture a product from our hands and being able to ship around the world is an honor for me.
Passed down to Francois Bruneau by his father. The chair's synonymous with cottage life, relaxation, freedom, and now sovereignty, with a lounger that features a carved-out maple leaf backrest.
It symbolizes hope, unity, love for each other, and we decided to post it on Made in Canada, which is a new site that just got created because of these tariffs. And the interaction and the explosion in 3 days.
With nearly 10,000 views, this quintessentially Canadian showpiece booms in popularity.
It kind of gives me goosebumps, and just sitting in the chair, it's very special.
It seems more than ever, Canadians like Daryl Johnson are embracing their identity.
I'm proud to be a Canadian.
Red and white on display all around her community.
There's a few of us that always do flags for Canada Day, but this is the first time I've seen flags out at this time of year.
We just filled up again.
At World of Maps, flags are flying off the shelves.
Everyone's very happy that we can display the Canadian flag proudly.
It's also a reminder to shop local.
When I'm shopping, I can actually tell people, I can see people reading labels, looking for that Canadian flag or the Made in Canada on their products, so that's good.
Canada is a rich, beautiful country.
And in tough economic times, it gives the Best Muskoka Chair Company something to celebrate.
And as Canadians, we can grow, we can be strong, and we'll get through this.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
It was a magical and memorable moment in international hockey. A tournament win for Canada against a backdrop of political tensions with the U.S.
Very, very emotionally charged. There's a lot that was behind that tournament, and it didn't disappoint.
Now artifacts from the NHL's inaugural Four Nations face-off that showcase the best on best are part of a new exhibit at the Hockey Hall of Fame, with the centerpiece, the championship trophy.
This tournament has become so much more than just a tournament, and the excitement it's created over those 10-day period is pretty amazing.
The Four Nations Cup arriving at the hall today, freshly engraved with the names of Team Canada.
It was made right here in Toronto. It was just engraved last night, and we just got it here this morning.
The collection includes game jerseys worn by players from Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the U.S., a helmet and gloves used by the Americans to Chuck brothers in the final, as well as equipment worn by Canada's Drew Doughty, Colton Priaco, and Devon Tays.
They were thrilled and honored to represent their country. We're thrilled to preserve hockey history, and I think the guys understood that when we were requesting items from them. And to have it on display here almost a week after the game was done is pretty amazing.
And that also includes a champagne bottle from Canada's championship celebration.
That was the first champagne bottle that was popped in the dressing room after Crosby brought the trophy into the dressing room. And they handed it to me.
Go Canada!
Some patriotic hockey fans were lucky to get up close with the artifacts before the exhibit officially opens to the public on Thursday.
Very impressive. It's glad we won it.
A lot of patriotism I'm feeling right now.
Being able to have the opportunity to see something like this, it's inspiring.
And throughout the March break, fans will have an opportunity to take a picture with the Four Nations Cup before the collection permanently moves to the Hall of Fame's World of Hockey exhibit. Mike Walker, CTV News, Toronto.
We have to scream loud as we can, that we are Canada.
Italian-Canadian international artist and designer Silvio Russo has sold paintings, furniture, and 3D sculptures to businesses around the world.
The flag is the only reference for everybody to identify himself.
He has created this visionary concept he hopes will one day be built along Windsor's riverfront, clearly visible from the U.S.
From here, we look at the other side with building really like declaring how big we are. You have nothing except an hotel. But this can be more than that. They have buildings, we have the spirit.
The site, called Canada Meeting Place, is a cathedral-like maple leaf design which consists of 233 steel posts representing 233 Canadian cities from coast to coast.
The diameter of this is 150 feet across.
And from the side, it mimics a Canadian flag waving in the wind.
Hiding inside all the spotlight to illuminate it for the night.
He envisions this structure as a way to elevate Canadians in challenging times, as we are facing today.
Very soul of this country are the people.
And it's our people that need to stand strong during these times of uncertainty.
Canada is not for the taking. We have dignity, we have pride, and we have a destiny which is our own, not the one that somebody else from outside could dictate.
Word tends to travel fast in small communities, and that's particularly true when one of your neighbors is about to get a whole lot richer.
And the talk of Inverness County is that somebody is a millionaire.
A Lotto 649 ticket that is a gold ball guaranteed prize winner of $1 million has been sold somewhere in the county. It's not just the talk of the town, it's a water cooler conversation in a number of rural communities.
Yeah, people are super excited. Somebody is a millionaire here in Inverness County, and how cool would it be for somebody to win that money?
It's really exciting to think that somebody can be a big winner again here in Inverness, especially $1 million.
Of course, Inverness is no stranger to big jackpots. It was 10 years ago this fall that people came here by the thousands each weekend to chase the ace. When the ace was finally drawn, Donelda McCaskill of Englishtown went home with nearly $1.8 million. Now someone else could become an instant millionaire.
And now, especially when there's so much on the line with a winner from Inverness County, we're all just hoping it's going to be close to home.
Meanwhile, Atlantic Lottery confirmed to me earlier today that the winning prize still hasn't been claimed, so they're asking people to check their tickets one more time.
It's like the family group chats are going, everybody's just communicating with each other, being like, somebody has to have this ticket.
So what would they do with $1 million?
I would probably travel the world. I love traveling. I was just away on a cruise. I would probably try to do a year-round cruise.
I can't retire anymore because I am. So I think maybe I would do something like find a nice place to go and visit and maybe give away some of that money.
The mystery surrounding who Cape Breton's newest millionaire might be will be unveiled, Atlantic Lottery says, once a winner or winners comes forward. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Inverness, Nova Scotia.
She's an opera singer, and Anna Bompiva was a member of the Kharkiv National Theatre. She's currently collaborating with the Calgary Opera and Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra. Bompiva is also part of a community theatre group putting on a play about the people in her homeland called Remember Also Me.
And about real people stories. This is the most important for me. I'm playing here like 3 characters, and again, this is the power of art to use like motions, to use our voices.
Playwright Laura Swart spent a month in Ukraine when war broke out, volunteering with DART, the Disaster Assistance Response Team.
I interviewed a lot of Ukrainian people while I was there, heard their stories, and so this play is all verbatim.
There are 12 performers in the production, with 2 from Ukraine. Anastasia Kosher moved here with her boyfriend, now husband, 2 years ago, but the rest of her family is still in Ukraine. She's working and studying to be an accountant, but found time to be in the play.
I only say thank you so much, Laura Swart, who made this all, because she really called me and say, I have a very good idea. You want play? I say yes.
Hamid Omokanye's character guides the audience through the play. He's also one of the owners of the Artist Lounge and says plays like this have an opportunity to build community.
We do have like a few people who did live that war and came here, right? So it's like it is telling those stories, or the stories that aren't like, they're not ancient.
We want to share about the war, but we also want to share about the beauty of Ukraine, of Ukrainian culture, food, landscape. So we want it to be also a celebration of Ukraine and the Ukrainian people.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
As soon as you finish your turkey,
you're just going to be off to the left a little.
First-year commercial pilot student Laura Holinda is living her dream.
Being a pilot was always what I wanted to be. I love to operate. I like to be in control. And so if I can give back and pursue that as a career, that would be amazing.
She's a student at SAS Polytech, and this new cutting-edge flight simulator is giving her invaluable experience.
It improves our skills that we can develop all the way from a single engine all the way up to commercialized aircrafts. So the advanced situations that it can put you in and the emergency procedures that we can train in is phenomenal for training.
This is the second simulator at the school. This one, more realistic and higher tech.
Look at it. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It can give you any type of scenario that you want, any failure. You can go anywhere you want.
So this is simulating a takeoff from the Vancouver airport, but what this simulator can do is also give pilots a chance to experience runways all over the world.
And some runways are shorter, narrower, which means different illusions for the students to experience. They can do it all in the safety of a simulator before they experience it in real life.
Many newly graduated pilots get jobs with smaller companies which fly to northern areas. They can practice landing on those runways also.
We can put them into all sorts of weather conditions where they can be flying when there's, rain or snow, clouds.
It can even simulate a fire scenario with smoke in the cockpit.
The average school doesn't have this type of technology, so it definitely gave us an advantage for sure.
Funding for the simulator came from the federal government and is hoped to help address the pilot shortage in Saskatchewan by increasing enrollment in the program. Carla Shinkarek, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Watching me become paralyzed in my body, becoming my caregiver, and having them lose me as their mother.
Just a few years ago, Paula Trefiek's ALS was so bad, her kids had to become her caregivers. When clinical trials of Qalsody became available, she traveled from Saskatchewan to Montreal.
Groundbreaking therapy, what we call a breakthrough therapy.
Dr. Angela Genge, lead investigator in the clinical trials, is also the director of the ALS Center of Excellence for Research and Patient Care at McGill. She says this medication is different because it modifies the disease itself.
It took about 6 to 9 months. Some of them improved, some of them went back to normal, and they're now living. They're not dying. They're living with the disease.
Qalsody targets a genetic cause of ALS. Trefiek's family has the mutation.
I have seen over 24 members of my family lose their battle with this disease in my lifetime.
After her own genetic test showed the mutation, Trefiek started this monthly injection treatment.
And I'm back running again, which is a true miracle. And so thanks to the early detection and the intervention of Qalsody, I've been able to hold on to this reversal, and I am alive today, where without this drug I wouldn't be.
Encouraging everyone with a family history of this form of ALS to get genetic testing, because we now want to see people really early, even before they have any signs, and follow them so that we can treat them at the first hint and really reverse the disease like it happened with Paula.
Beaconsfield resident and ALS patient Phil Lalonde has been in the fight for 4 years.
It takes away your ability to walk, your ability to feed yourself. It takes away totally your independence because you rely on everybody to do everything for you.
His ALS is not treatable with this new drug, but he feels those ice bucket challenges helped fund this kind of research.
Because they do research for this part of ALS, they may be finding clues to help us down the road find a better cure for everybody else.
He too is fundraising by organizing Point Claire soccer tournaments.
Over the past 3 years, we have raised over $165,000 for the ALS Society of Quebec to provide services and, most importantly, research to find a cure for this brutal disease of ALS.
Christine Long, CTV News.
For some time, Emilio de Mercado has been keeping a secret.
I said, oh, please keep it confidential, and share it for some time.
Practicing, perfecting, in advance of the performance of a lifetime.
It's really, really, exciting, overwhelming, and, it's a lot to process.
Born in Italy to a concert pianist, music has always been a part of his life.
The many practice hours that it will require, I will, keep going, following my dream.
That dream now leading him to Carnegie Hall. While playing a venue like Carnegie comes with added pressure, DeMercado says he has to treat it like any other performance.
Anywhere you perform, you give your best with professional attitude, and there is no situation, even there is one person in the room, that you play with superficiality or careless attitude.
Adrenaline, anxiety, all still there. But when he starts to play, DeMercado says it's like talking to an old friend.
The piano for me is a gate towards a universe of feelings, of beauty, of it's a sort of machine that can take you anywhere.
DeMercado is touring for the big performance, playing the same program he'll perform in New York. Different venues, but one thing remains the same.
The piano still is going to be 88 keys in front of me.
Taking the audience through moments, details, and feelings.
Playing, my vision goes through the colors, through the feelings, and I feel free.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A record day for Regina Cougar Jonathan Podbelski.
Last year, actually, I was 0.02 of a second off that exact record. So I had a year to reflect on it, to think about it, and think about how I could improve for the next year.
Podbelski winning not one, not two, but 3 gold medals at the Canada West Track and Field Championships, including a conference record in the 1,500-meter run with a time just under 3 minutes and 46 seconds.
The body's a little beat up by the third one for sure, but always thinking about winning and always thinking about getting to that line first before the next guy beside me or behind me or in front of me or wherever he is.
But he wasn't the only Cougar bringing home hardware.
Breaks her own U of R school record.
Shalane Pritchard earning gold in shot put along with 3 silver medals in long jump, the 60-meter hurdles, and 4x200-meter relay.
When you know you're in that top spot and then other people still have opportunities to push you out of that spot, it's nerve-wracking, but it also is kind of motivating because obviously you want to be that person taking home that medal.
Now Podbelski, Pritchard, and their teammates prepare for the U Sports National Championships, but as a smaller team, the Cougars do face an uphill battle.
The nice thing about having relay teams involved too is it allows you to have more people there and also to have a cheering squad there because we get outnumbered pretty quick with some of the bigger schools.
That's the main goal, is always to win a national championship, being the best in the country, and it would be absolutely spectacular if I could accomplish a goal like that.
The U Sports National Track and Field Championships run March 6th through the 8th in Windsor, Ontario. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Usually they run away, and usually when they see the traffic or they see a lot of people, they run up. But this particular moose stayed stationary.
An unexpected guest at Casino Rama on Monday that inched a little too close to the property, attracting the attention of other casino patrons.
They were creating a pileup, and we didn't want an accident to occur. So I asked them, "Can you get off the road?" And they told me that there was a moose across by the fence.
The moose entering along a busy roadway and into a nearby nook of the casino. Rama security holding off gas while police trying to flush the moose out, but they were at a standstill. Eventually, a night patrol was able to get it to move to a nearby parking lot.
Once it got to the parking lot, we realized that the leg was injured. And it was very unusual for a moose to be this close to such a high human population.
Police able to get in contact with the National Wildlife Center with help from a local wildlife sanctuary. They came up with a plan that would see the center help get the moose out of the casino, tasking police to stay on watch overnight.
The moose was actually very cooperative. It stayed in one spot. It started at 12:30 yesterday, and it concluded sometime around 11:30 today, so it was actually it was almost 24 hours of caring for a moose.
This morning, with the help of the Wildlife Center, They were able to tranquilize the moose and load it up onto a sled where it was escorted away for some special care.
It's just nice to be part of something where we had a positive ending, and usually in these situations animals are destroyed because of the proximity to a human population. So this was a real positive situation for everyone.
Now, Rama police tell me that the moose is on its way to a wildlife sanctuary near Rosso where it will be nursed back to health and treated for its injuries. Christian Davino, CTV News, Rama First Nation.
The Pancake Pandemonium fundraiser offered an environment where everyone belongs. It's just one part of the philosophy of independent living Sudbury Manitoulin, otherwise known as ILSM.
It's just this amazing organization right here in our city that supports persons with disabilities to live independently in their homes. So we do things like we teach them how to read, we teach them how to cook, how to budget.
Officials with downtown Sudbury came out to support the fundraiser and to enjoy some pancakes.
Well, there's a lot of members of our community that need that bit of assistance to contribute or to feel like they're part of the community, and independent living in Sudbury is that bridge.
While the nonprofit receives some government funding, it relies heavily on fundraising to support its 20 programs. One that is fully funded by the provincial government is a self-managed attendant care program, which ILSM oversees locally and helps members sign up.
People with permanent physical disabilities who need daily attendant care and they have a cognitive ability to be able to manage funds. We teach them how to access Ministry of Health funds on a monthly basis so they can hire their own attendants. You can't even imagine how much flexibility and control they have in their daily lives.
ILSM serves a significant geographical catchment area, from Killarney to Chapleau to Elliott Lake, extending east to Marks Day. It currently has over 500 members. Alan Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Before David Beck discovered the positive potential of filling a balloon full of water, he was striving to be a full-time travel photographer, taking photos like these.
It's kind of my big dream. I was working hard.
But then the pandemic hit harder, and David lost both his photography gigs and the bartending job that was paying the bills.
I was definitely under, a lot of stress.
David says his mental health started suffering, so he began searching for some way to take his mind off it all.
Obviously, you're looking for a positive place to put your energies.
And obviously, if you have a lot of time on your hands with nothing to lose, why not pop a balloon with an axe and capture the action on camera? But far from obvious was what happened after David posted the video on social media.
The first kind of 24 hours, it got like 1 million views or something.
It eventually reached more than 200 million views, David says.
I was freaking out.
So he wondered what would happen if he made a bunch of other videos.
Throw spaghetti at the wall and it sticks.
You keep going.
Maybe I just think right place at the right time.
Yet, 3.5 years later, during this very different time,
they have skyrocketed.
Thanks to producing countless thousands of daily balloon videos, David's earned 20 million followers on social media, up to more than 500 million views per video, and turned this into a full-time job.
It's wild, but I'm stoked.
David says he also couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to focus his seemingly superficial content on more substantial issues, ranging from the war in Ukraine to videos specifically aimed at calming anxiety and distracting from depression.
My message is to, share gratitude, positivity, and love.
And to show how the worst days of our lives, if we choose to respond differently, just might inspire us to realize the best.
When life's calling on you, right, you got to respond and you got to do, what you can to keep going, right?
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Central Saanich.